Keenan Shanholtz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty at 763 Cars Cabin Road in Scherr, West Virginia. And I think this pretty much says it all, what you're seeing right here. This place is 221 acres. It's got about 30 acres of pasture. Currently, there's a farmer that runs cows. Basically, the whole property's fenced. The cows roam around in the woods and everything. And Route 93 is down here, and OAKDALE Road is over this way. So it has frontage on 2 paved roads. And I'll take you on a tour of the whole place here. There's going to be a lot of video on this one because it has so much to offer. But the access is really off of OAKDALE Road, although there is an old road bed that comes in up off of 93. And let me zoom you out here just a little bit to get the panorama here. And you can see here there's a cabin on the property, and I'll do a video on the inside of it. But the cabin's about 1,000 square foot, and you'll see a little door right there that goes into the crawl space. There's a cistern that they use for water here. I don't know why you couldn't drill a well here, but they just have a cistern, and they have a water tank there. They used to haul water up here to fill the cistern up. But the cabin's been remodeled on the inside since these current owners have had it, and you'll see that in the video. But a few things to point out here. And there's so much to tell about this place. I'm sure I'm going to forget some stuff. But, gosh, it's just so pretty up here. Let me zoom you in one time real good there. Just see how far you can see here. So one thing I want to point out here is that, so from OAKDALE Road, this road comes up here to the cabin like this. And this is actually, like where my truck's sitting, is a right-of-way. There's a 50-couple acre piece back of this that this is a right-of-way for. And I've talked to those people before when I sold this place a few years ago. And they live in Morgantown. It's just kind of like a hunting property for them. There's a little old kind of cabin back there that doesn't look like it's inhabitable. But this is a right-of-way through here. And I do want to point that out. So as we're looking at the map of the property here, this is where we're at. The cabin sits right here, and it's not very far back here to the cabin, and this is the piece here that the right-of-way goes to. And if you see here, this is where the road comes up off of 93. They have a right-of-way that way and this way, which is the main entrance, how we came up in here to the cabin, and this is what they use. This portion of the road right here, it's okay for a four-wheeler, but not for a vehicle. But so the property line over this side is not very far down over the hill. So the bulk of the property is going to be this direction. And as you can see the windmills up there at Mount Storm. And we're only 2 miles off of Quarter H right here. So the 4-lane highway, when you get down to 93, it's only a mile to Quarter H. So super easy to get here if you're coming from Northern Virginia. You just take 66 to 81, go south on 81 for just a piece, and hop on the road over to Wardensville. It's about 20 minutes from 81 to Wardensville. You hop on Quarter H and you'll be here in about 40 minutes. So super easy highway and stuff to get here. And when I pulled up in here this morning, there was a big flock of turkeys right here in front of the cabin. I mean, this place is absolutely loaded with game. Bear, deer, turkey, I mean, anything you want hunts here. It's just incredible. I mean, you just don't, I've been doing this for 21 years. And this is right there in the top handful of places I've seen. It is that nice. It has that much to offer. It's that pretty. And by the time you get done watching the videos I'm going to put together here, you'll see why. Keenan Shanholtz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty. Just want to take you and show you the inside of 763 Cars Cabin Road. The inside of this cabin's kind of been remodeled in the last 2 or 3 years or so, and they just updated it with laminate flooring. It's pretty basic. It's about 1,000 square feet. Baseboard heat. You just got a stove, refrigerator, microwave. There's your TV. Nice big open room here. Perfect for a hunting camp. There's a little gas fireplace there. And then this is going to be kind of like what you would call the master suite here. It's got the good view. And believe it or not, there's actually a toilet, just a freestanding toilet behind this little shade here or whatever. But just take you around. This here could be used as a bedroom. They just a little small. You can put a bed in there. They just use it as a storage room. You got a bathroom here. Shower behind the door. Once again, they run this off a cistern. Don't see any reason why you couldn't drill a well up here. And here's the other bedroom here that obviously has a set of bunks in it. So, pretty nice for a hunting camp. Above average. I've stayed in plenty worse for a hunting camp, I'll tell you that. But, let me just get you outside here. Oh, and then here's the pig. When these folks got this place, they said they were going to put a little lipstick on this pig. So that's the story behind that, if you're wondering. Let me just get you out here. There's the deer skinning pole there beside the water tank. And once again, they just haul water up here in that tank to fill the cistern up, which is in the crawl space. And just walk you around the outside here. Vinyl siding. The windows are good in it and everything. Just look at that. I probably shouldn't even talk while I'm doing this video because I think what you're seeing here speaks for itself. But looky there. Wonderful. I'll keep taking videos. Keenan Shanholtz here again, West Virginia Land and Home Realty on the 763 Cars Cabin Road property. Just want to show you where I'm at. I am right here. And this is where, you know, the original road came in off of 93. And then this is, like in here, this is a 5-acre hayfield in here. And I'll get the camera up here in a second. And then the old stone quarries right here, which I'll show you that here in a second too. Let me get this back in my pocket here before it blows away. But, so, let me show you the hayfield first. So, there's a guy that runs cows on this, and a different guy cuts this little hayfield right here. And the hayfield's, you know, fenced in to keep the cattle out of it or whatever, but it's about 5 acres. And the taxes on this place are ridiculously cheap. It's $258 a year is the total tax bill on this place. And I'm sure that, you know, if you want to keep that up, keep it in farm class, sure the guy would love to keep his cows here, and the other guy would love to continue to cut the hay. Kept that arrangement when the current owner bought it off the previous owner, and it's worked out well. Here's how the old road, you know, it's good enough for a four-wheeler, not good enough for a vehicle. Wouldn't take much work to get it good enough for a vehicle, but that's where the road goes down to 93. And then, well, might be easier to show you like this. So at one time, there was a stone quarry here. And that's what I'm about to show you here. So there you go. Just an old stone quarry on the property for limestone. Just don't run your four-wheeler over this off the road right here. It's gonna hurt. But that's the old quarry. So let me keep you going here. As you can see, I'm standing here in the road. And there is pasture down here below. Like I said, I got about 30 acres of pasture calculated on this place. But down low here, there's pasture down along 93 as well, so. Well, I couldn't help myself. I needed to take another little video right here because it's just so pretty. But I'm on the top edge of the hayfield right here. And off in the distance, up on the hill right through there's the cabin. But the property goes around here across the crown of this hill to another fence row, and I'll take another video over there and show that to you. But I just couldn't resist this right here. You know, as far as building sites go on this property, I mean, there's a ton of them, you know, up there obviously where the cabin is, but then the other one's going to be on the crown of this hill right here that's going to give you the big views and everything. Keenan Shanholtz here again, 763 Cars Cabin Road. I just wanted to show you kind of, this would be another building site obviously over here. I'm kind of on the far left-hand side of the property if you're looking at it from 93. And as I zoom in here, this is obviously going to be a great building site, but you can see the little fence row out in front of me there, about 150 yards or so. And that's pretty well a straight line. That comes right off the gate down there on 93, and it's a pretty straight line all the way almost to Oakdale Road. But let me just pan around here. I just took that last little video. I took the last little clip was right down under the hill there where the pasture, where the hayfield is. But let me zoom in there. I mean, you can see the cabin sitting on top of the hill. I mean, that's a good, probably 700 yards, I'd say, away. So if you want to do any long range shooting here, just put you a pile of dirt over here and shoot into it. You get some long range shooting here. And and let me show you here on the map where we're at. So we're right here is where we are. And you can see the pasture field that we're in right here, and we're elevated about 2,200 feet right here. And you could see, like, right where the road comes in off of 93, this fence road just runs all the way through here like this and kicks around the house, this house down here along Oakdale Road, and then the gates right here off of Oakdale. But there's trails. I mean, there are miles and miles and miles of trails around this place. And so I'm going to go down along the fence. There's a trail that runs right along that fence, and I'll come all the way back down to the main gate. And I'll just kind of stop as we go. But yeah, this place is beyond nice. Let me zoom in on that view one more time. Hey, Keenan Shanholtz here, riding around 763 Cars Cabin Road. As you can see, I'm just sitting on my four-wheeler. I'm about 20 yards from these four deer. And I've seen, you know, I'm just kind of making my way around the, kind of like the left-hand side of the property. And I've probably seen 15, 16 deer so far. And as you can see, they're not too worried about me. They're just looking. But they're just very, very tame, very lowly pressured. And I don't want to spook them, but I do want to show you where I'm at here on the map. If you'll give me just a second, I'll zoom out here. So, where I'm at, I just come right down along. There's a trail that runs right along this property line. There's a fence there. And I'm right in behind this house here that's along Oakdale Road. You can see the back of that house. You might even heard the dog barking there here at me on the four-wheeler. But, yeah, they're still there. If you like to hunt, it's loaded. Well, we just looked at some deer. Now we're going to look at the bull there. I hope he don't get up and come after me, but he seems like he's not worried about me a bit. But, sitting here on my four-wheeler, and I'll show you where we're at. I'm basically right here. So that trail I was on goes all the way down around and pops out right here. And right here in front of me, let me zoom out. Right here in front of me is the main road coming into the property. And the gate is about 100 yards to my left down through there where you turn off of Oakdale Road and come into the property. And I'm just going to kind of start working around this section over in here and taking videos as we go. But it is kind of unique about this place. The cows roam in the woods here. You don't see that a whole lot, but I guess it's good for the woods. You know, they poop and, you know, keep the soil fertile throughout the woods and just kind of, I guess, graze around on the grass that's here in the woods and everything. But they keep a good many cows in here, and they move them out usually in October sometime, which is pretty normal, so they get them somewhere where they can winter them and everything. But so they're not in here during hunting season, but as you can see, they don't bother the deer a bit. So I wanted to take a video here and tell you about what's called a CHERT pit. So as you can see, there's a lot of the ground dug out there, and CHERT's like a kind of dirt that you use that packs really good to kind of build road bases with. It's kind of like, you know, we use a lot of shale to build road bases with, and shale's obviously more rocky, and this is just more of kind of like a dirt that packs really well. The owner's got a picnic table set up there because they come down here and shoot. Makes a great place to shoot pistols and whatnot. And also right here, and this is going to be, you know, Cars Cabin Lane right here, you know, and you can see it breaks through and you start getting into the pasture up there. But excuse me, there is a little pond right here that the cattle drink out of and stuff. And this is where I'm at on the map right here. So here's a little pond I'm looking at. Here's the CHERT pit. And I've kind of worked my way around the south side of the property, came back down, came up to the CHERT pit here. Now I'm going to go back down here and hit this trail and come all the way up and around right back up here behind the cabin. So once again, just miles and miles of trails. As you can see by looking at the topo map here, this property lays great. It is 100% usable. There's not a place on this whole farm that you can't get to on a side-by-side or an ATV. And really, I know the sun's going to be in my face here, but there's like a ridge that runs north and south through this property that's kind of rocky and's got some mountain laurel on it. And then when you drop down off that laurel ridge, you know, it slopes very easily, you know, down to Oakdale Road. So it's got a ton of frontage on Oakdale Road. And also, you'll see this, I'll do some pictures of this video too, but when you get down to the gate, and if you turn right, it's only about 2 miles down to New Creek Dam site number 14. It's a flood control dam that's stocked with trout. Excellent. They'll be stocking it here probably this week. They stock it in the spring and in the fall. So that's right there, you know, 2 miles down the road. Keenan Shanholtz here again, 763 Cars Cabin Road. I just wanted to take a video in the woods here, and I'm whispering because I had another big wad of deer down here to my left just now. But I just want to illustrate, I'd say I'm probably about right in here, roughly somewhere. Oakdale Road's going to be down here. Yeah, I'd say I'm probably about right here. But, you know, there's roads, like I said, there's miles of ATV trails on this place. And this property was selected, very, very, very selectively timbered. I'd say about 7 years ago or so. And there's plenty, there's still marketable timber here right now. As you can see, I mean, just looking around, it doesn't look like it was hurt at all. You know, in fact, there's a nice walnut right there that's worth a good bit of money. And a cherry right back here behind me. But just look how lush. There's a lot of springs in these woods. It's like a wet woods. It's not like a dry woods. I mean, you could see the ferns and stuff growing in here. It's just very fertile and moist, which makes for growing good timber. So, and you can see there's an old skidder road that kind of goes up, old logging road that kind of runs up through there that way, and those are everywhere. But we'll just keep shooting as we go. Just wanted to do a video here on the far north end of the property. And let me zoom in there. I don't know if you can see the woven wire fence. It's about 30 yards in front of me that way. And where I'm at, I'm right about here, almost kind of like to the corner of the property right in here. And then I'm gonna take this, you can see how the four-wheeler road, the logging road, goes back up through here this way. And I'm just gonna work my way back up and I'll come right back in behind the cabin. Keenan Shanholtz here again. That's going to be my last video here on 763 Cars Cabin Road. I know it's been a lot, but there's a lot to cover on this one because it's got so much to offer. But what I want to point out here is, as you can see the cabin up there, I'm zooming in, I'm trying to do this with one hand. The cabin's about 200 yards out in front of us there. And I just came up this road, this four-wheeler, I'm sitting here on my four-wheeler, and that just kind of brings you, that's kind of like the whole loop, basically, around the property. But where I'm sitting at here, this is, you know, kind of like I was telling you about that right-of-way road that goes by the cabin, And it just goes out through there. Like I said, there's that old little tiny kind of falling down cabin. If you follow the power poles back through there about 300 yards, that's where that is. So on the map, the cabin's right here, and I'm sitting basically like right here. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but there's a corner right here. And then that, like I said, that little cabin that the right-of-way goes to is just out here about 300 yards from me. But so as we did this video, we started here at the cabin, went out here, looked at the stone quarry, went up here, looked at the hay, looked back on the hayfield, went up here to the building site on top of the hill. We stopped and looked at deer about right here. We stopped and looked at cows here and talked about that. We came up to the CHERT pit and the pond and looked at that. Then I came down around here. We talked about the woods a little bit. And then I went all the way out to here and we stopped and I kind of showed you the end of the property out there. Then I came all the way back up this hollow, up and around, and now I'm right here. And right here behind the four-wheeler here, you see there's a steel pipe right there, and that's a corner. So beyond this is the other, you know, the other property, that 50 couple acres or whatever. And like I said, the property as it drops down off towards 93 this way, the property line just barely, you know, runs just over the brow of the hill there a little bit before it kicks out. You know, we're here, it just stays just under the brow of the hill before it makes a 90 and goes down there and fronts on 93. And this is all your frontage on 93 here. The only thing we didn't look at was that down there in this bottom pasture down here. But, well, hopefully you've enjoyed a very comprehensive tour of this property. And I hope I illustrated how dynamic it is and just how phenomenal it is. I mean, you got views, privacy, easy access, farming, hunting, fishing right down the road. Anything you could want, you have it here. And you're 2 miles, less than 2 miles, probably right at 2 miles, off a 4-lane highway. You can be skiing in 40 minutes from here at Canaan Valley. You're 20 minutes from Kaiser, Moorefield, or Petersburg. So you're not far from anything. Like I said, 2 miles down the road, you got a stock trout lake. You're right at 2.5 hours from the White House right here. I Googled it, did it on MapQuest. 2 hours and 35 minutes from here to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Not that you'd want to go there, but that's just how far it is. So come check this place out and call me soon, because I can't imagine this lasting very long. 221 acres, $799,000.